What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a Monday edition of MLB Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. It was an unbelievable Sunday. Sunday was fantastic. And then, well, Dustin May sucks. That was awful. Only 3 strikeouts from him. He goes 6 innings. I didn't bet the over of his outs, so that is frustrating. But the big news, of course, the San Francisco Giants, unbelievable trade that went down right before first pitch of that game. That's my dog. That's Duke hanging out in the background. He's happy because he's going to get the expensive kibble this week. It was a phenomenal weekend in the premium Discord and made a lot of money. But I'll talk about a little bit of the implications of that Giants trade. We're going to actually be talking about the team on the other side of it because it's one of your, 3 official plays that we've got, 2 that are in concrete already posted to the premium Discord because, well, got to wait for some numbers to roll out here for the home run numbers. But oh boy, I think we could be getting a launching pad in Tampa Bay tomorrow. Guys, check out Lindy 5. That is the premium Discord. That's how you find it. Producer Jacob, he's the man. I love him so much. We're going to get ourselves another week in the books here. It's going to be lovely. I want to keep the good times rolling, keep the vibes rocking. We got summertime, sweet summertime. I'm not a singer. Let's get ourselves, I'm working late though, because I'm a singer. That's Sabrina Carpenter. She's attractive. I love my wife, Lindy 5. All right, y'all, let's get to the picks. And we begin our tour here of Lindy's Leans. This is going to be the fastest program ever, and I'm just fine with that to some extent. There are only 7 games, but I do have 2 official plays. One that has 2 plays that I'm very much paying attention to that I'm going to just put down as likes because at least one of the 2 is going to get bet. We'll talk about that. But Schwarber, 2+ bases. You get any sort of righty here that is hittable out on a mound. I'm going to have interest in a larger park here in Marlins Park. Sandy Alcantara, or Lone Depot, whatever. 345 xWOBA, 17.7% K rate. My big issue is he walks a lot of dudes, and Kyle Schwarber gets walked a lot here this time and age. Yeah, Schwarber 2+ bases is at least interesting. As for Mick Abel, ended up stacking up a bunch of lineups against him in DFS and had a bunch of betting tickets going up against him because he gives up crazy hard contact. 93 average mile per hour exit velocity off the bat, 54.5% hard hit. His strikeout stuff is tantalizing. He's got a really good 4-seamer curveball combo, but when it gets hit, it goes a long way. And we ended up targeting some successful Cubs up against him there. So that was useful. Mainly Michael Busch that ended up working out. Kyle Tucker, PCM, I'm still mad at you. I remember. So does this show. Angels taking on the Yankees. And the Yankees, you got to feel pretty good about their standing here in the AL East with other teams selling off, doing some interesting stuff to say the very least. Hi, Boston. I mean, not that they were running amok here lately, but oh boy, the Yankees taking on the Angels and kind of have interest in both pitchers. Soriano is coming off of an outlier start. Let's just put it that way. Soriano strikes out 12, goes completely ballistic. Not something that we're going to have sustainable going forward. I think we all feel about that. But he induces the ground ball contact, negative 4.2 degree launch angle, because he just throws sinker after sinker after sinker, over 50% usage on that pitch. And Travis d'Arnaud, he's got a slower exchange rate, so pay attention to that. But Logan O'Hoppe, I think getting back out there as a catcher, again, they've had some weird stuff where he ends up in the lineup, out of the lineup, in the lineup, out of the lineup. Don't have to worry about his batting props because he does not look good against Clark Schmidt. 282 xWOBA, 34.5% hard hit. He does give up the launch angle. I think Nolan Schanuel, actually a sneaky bat that was actually projecting out well when I simmed it. But under 8.5 is the thing that I'm the most interested in. I'm not going to double down with a batting prop if I end up betting that. As for Houston and the A's, it's the A's normal conundrum. Other than Severino getting normal starts, they have done stuff with Mitch Spence, Jeffrey Springs here recently where they don't have an opener, but they don't have an announced pitcher. There's no way to look at the timeline that they've had with pitchers and know kind of where we're going to land. And Lance McCullers, 54.5% hard hit, 11.7% walk rate, 10.4% barrel percentage. Those are bad, but the strikeout stuff is getting better. He's getting a lot better, but I don't love the start that we got against the White Sox. I have no idea what to make of it. Feel like it's going to basically be A's hitter props or pass here, and obviously Houston props. That's pending what the A's roll out. Such a weird lineup configuration that we get day in, day out. You know what's not weird, though? You know what's not weird? Premium Discord is a lovely place to hang out. That is not weird, friends. $5 for your first week. I want to make it accessible. I want to prove to you that I can put out plays every single day that are going to be better than the average bear. And boy, oh boy, has that been the case for the last about month and a half of the MLB season here. Maybe not full month of May, first half of May, not so pretty. For the last month, it has been an absolute print fest in that premium Discord. So much so that it's been exponentially better than any downswing that's been experienced here over any MLB season for the last couple. In fact, I don't know if I've ran hotter over the course of any 2-week sample size than what I have post-Memorial Day. I mean, this has been an absolute movie. And Sunday, just look at the comment section. I'm sure somebody from the premium Discord will give me a shout out, right? Right? I don't want to ask for comments, but I'm just saying it's been a very nice time in the premium Discord Sunday. Almost 10 units. If it weren't for frickin' Dustin May being a dunce cap and screwing up the prize picks card for some of the pick'em people, oh, that was frustrating. But not frustrating has been the run we've been on. We will continue to be making these runs. Hey, also a pretty profitable golf weekend. Yeah, US Open. JJ Spawn didn't have him, but had a lot of miscut guys that worked out. Lindy, 5 friends, $5 for your first week. Sign up at the link below. Alrighty, y'all, to the actual picks we go. Just kidding. We have one more lean. The Dodgers money line taking on Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease just pitched against these Dodgers and mowed them down in Petco. You got Gasparius, though. He's kind of earned the right to be that 4th, 5th starter here, and he's been really good. I just don't know if it's sustainable. 29.5% hard hit, sub 20-degree launch angle. I mean, that's a high launch angle at 19 as is, but 5.1% walk rate, 26% K rate. Can he keep this kind of going? Motorin, what's your price tonight? I'm not sure, but I do think as we look at some of the opening numbers here, the Dodgers money line, I know it's dicey against Cease, who just mowed him down. I think I'll take the Dodgers bats there at home. And the Padres, hey, they got off the schneid here on Sunday. 3-game losing streak comes to a halt, but not trusting that lineup here at the moment. Tatis, where are you? And I'm so sorry. All right, Lean's done. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. We have the Rockies and Nationals. I can't keep this rhyming. Don't waste your time not betting things that you shouldn't, because we got Colorado, Washington, where it's just eternally good hitting weather there in Washington. That just going to continue on forever and ever. Amen. And Carson Palmquist, I said this when he came out. I'm not impressed by just about anything that he does other than the last 5 letters of his last name. Those are beautiful, but everything else about him sucks. And some people would argue that about the first 4 letters of mine compared to his. Palms are cool. Whatever. Sub 15% K rate, 12% walk rate. Obviously, this start is not taking place in Coors, which is helpful. It also doesn't take on the best offense ever here, but Washington's made me a lot of money. I've been pretty locked in the prop department with what to do here. In fact, we ended up on Alex Call walk prop. Yeah, he ends up getting walked in the first at bat. And Alex Call run prop, because he ends up leading off above CJ Abrams. And it makes sense. I was able to kind of read those tea leaves right out of the gate. And it's the first time that Alex Call has done that over CJ Abrams so far this season. CJ Abrams has been demoted 3 times out of that leadoff spot, but I'm not even going to call it a demotion. It was a logicated choice by the Washington Nationals. You got Alex Call, who has north of a 10% K rate there at 11.2% walk rate it is, to be exact. 13.6% K rate, super low. He doesn't strike out a lot, and he gets a lot of walks. You get up against walk-prone pitchers, and they're probably going to want to keep that going. I suspect it'll be the same thing now. Just because you bet it today doesn't mean you bet it tomorrow. That is not how we do things. But I will say, I thought it still had value at the closing number that we got on Alex Call. Luckily, we beat it before the line even moved because nobody reacted to it. They generally don't, the same way you might with a starting lineup in NBA. But Jake Irvin also on the other side, not good. So we're not going to back the Colorado Rockies. We're not going to back the Washington Nationals. We're going to back the offenses here. Jake Irvin, 370 xWOBA, just awful stuff. Give me the over of this baseball game. Both bullpens, questionable at best. At best, this is awful. But the offenses, I think, are functional. The Rockies putting up 10 there on a guy who mowed him down 15 times it was. 15 times Grant Holmes. Nice to see Grant Holmes has fantasy value. Yay. Over 9, though, this feels pretty good. This is also pretty good, friends. We got ourselves 2 weeks free, using promo code Lindy1 of Portfolio EV. Go down to the link below. This is going to be going away very, very soon. In fact, maybe as soon as tomorrow. So if you want to take advantage, Portfolio EV is still 2 weeks free using promo code Lindy1. Do it now. Do it often. Check out the best market-based tool in all of betting and download the OddsShopper app while you're at it, or the oddshopper.com. Oh, that's all. That's all. My mom wanted to call. Anyway, Lindy won. Back to the picks we go. It's Father's Day. I'm not going to answer my mother. I love my mother. I love my wife more. That's creepy. Baltimore taking on Tampa Bay. Friends. Ryan Pepio is somebody that I actually like some of what he's been doing lately. And Zach Eflin, I kind of like some of what he's been doing lately. But this is going to be ridiculous. This is almost like the start of what I'm talking about. Do this for me. Go into your weather app of choice. Type in Tampa Bay weather tomorrow and see what comes up. I'm seeing 93 degrees with a little bit of rain in the mixture. Now, 93 in Tampa is different than 93 in Arizona. And can I explain humidity to you? Because humidity also confirmed a thing. 65% at first pitch, 75% throughout the game. We're talking one of the best hitting environments that we've seen dropped into a ballpark in quite some time. That's what we're going to be getting all summer here with Tampa. We have to deal with these pop-up showers, though, and that's the annoying part because you get on the coast, you get this warm weather, you get this humidity, and you get storms and moisture and precipitation showing up throughout. Now, Tuesday, Wednesday could look nuclear, 95, 93 degrees with both of these weather patterns. But I have a weather sheet that basically uploads off of just weather.com and the windfinder.com, which I think is probably the most underrated app of all time and underrated site that is desktop. Lovely. Windfinder.com. Check it out. But I cannot tell you how much interest I have in home runs here. I have tons of interest. In fact, I want to just start with two of them. Jackson Holiday, Cedric Mullins. If either of them have higher than plus 350, bet them. Just do it immediately. Do not pass go. Collect $200 if you bet the correct quantity here. But I just don't see how either of them against a righty and Pepio, who has a 17-degree launch angle in a AAA ballpark in this kind of weather, aren't positive EV plays. Pay attention to the weather, obviously. You always should. Hopefully, I'm not the only person telling you that night before. Both of those guys are so live to hit the ball very high, very far. I cannot wait to watch this game tomorrow. Please hold off weather. A clubhouse cancer might be a difficult superstar, the likes of, somebody in the NBA who just feels like they're better than they are, like the Lance Stevenson type who, wants to call the shots and always feels like they can knock down shots in the clutch and think they're the best player on the team when they're really a role player. No, that's not who Rafael Devers is. Rafael Devers is really good at baseball. And just because he didn't want to play anything other than third base does not mean that you should have traded him for Kyle Harrison and Jordan Hicks and a couple of other AAA names. What are you actually doing, Boston? What are you? He must be the worst in the clubhouse. And obviously, is it great to have your star player say he doesn't want to do something for the betterment of the team? No. But it worked out pretty well for teams that grabbed Juan Soto, who was always looking out for himself. And I get it's not a perfect one-for-one example, but I do think Seattle, maybe Boston just gets a weight lifted off their shoulder, but I don't see how that works out tomorrow for the one-game sample size we're talking about with Lucas Giolito taking on Logan Gilbert, making his first start in quite some time. Now, for those who aren't familiar with Logan Gilbert, the guy is an absolute stud, and he ended up getting dinged up, had his surgery, he had the beginning of this season, 2.29 expected ERA. Again, never been hurt, never had Tommy John surgery, but he's had some other issues, some other health stuff that's popped up from time to time. He's elite when he's out there. Logan Gilbert is somebody that I've always liked. I liked him a lot more than George Kirby. And Logan Gilbert, we're not going to go out of our way to pick on in any way, shape, or form. In fact, the inverse. Give me the Seattle run line. Even in a ballpark that suppresses all of this power, you're removing the best lefty bat that you have on your team. Wilyer Abreu is on the IL. And maybe this is just Boston selling. Maybe this is just Boston saying, we got to get rid of Devers. Corey can't deal with it anymore. We got to move on. We got to do what's best for the team and have team players in here. Awesome. Your lineup looks way worse without Rafael Devers in it for tomorrow. So enjoy that. Best of luck to Roman going forward as well. I'm cheering for you guys. I hope you do well. And obviously nobody likes an entitled star, but he was a star. Seattle on the run line, firing that up here for tomorrow. And that does it for another edition of MLB Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board. We are on a home run in the Discord. 6 of our last 12. That's a real thing. 6 of my last 12 home run plays. Almost, again, it would have been awesome with the Prize Picks card as well there on Sunday, but a phenomenal Hulk slam of a day on Sunday in the premium Discord. Dustin May, we're still mad at you, though, but we think Dalton Rushing deserves a statue for just getting a hit. That's all we needed. It was a hit. He gets it right off the bat. Whatever. Lindy 5, that's how you jump in that premium Discord. Come kick it with one of the best communities you can find in the betting space, keeping it positive, keeping it energetic, and you're getting really damn good plays from yours truly, as well as Eitan Shander, Greg Ehrenberg, and more. Thank you, producer Jacob. Till next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck on this short slate on MLB Monday. I don't know why I called it MLB Monday. I'm done talking.